What's good? Thank you for tuning in another video from D's and Go's representing OKC-LOWS. Today's video is our farewell to one of the OGs, Supreme 64. But before we find out how I even got to that point, let's check out this long lost clip from the OKC Super Show in Oklahoma a couple years back. The Supreme 64 was a car that's been in my collection for the longest time. It was actually the second Red Cat that I bought and added to my collection. That car has had probably every modification that has come out and been released. I installed it on that car. But on this day, I took it to this car show, and the car actually broke down twice. As much time and money we spend on these RC cars, you would never think that they could break down, but anything can happen at any given time. I decided it was time to sell this car and spread more of my time with the other cars. So I decided to take all the extra parts from this car and put them on the others. I'll definitely truly miss this car. But surprisingly, when I listed the car for sale, it actually sold the first day. And even cooler, it actually being sold to a good friend of mine, Michael. And believe it or not, he actually has Supreme 64 in a glass case on display. So that actually makes me feel very well and fortunate to know that one of my rides is chilling in someone's house on a glass case for display. I'm really hoping there's a specific model that can be released in the future that I would love to continue to name Supreme for. But for now, Supreme 64 will forever hold the name. I started by replacing all of the custom engraved parts with stock parts, and I also swapped the interior and removed the side skirt. So I had a Monte rear end, I swapped back with the 64 rear end. I ended up removing all of the extra servos, installed stock servos in the rear, a 300 up front, and a little mini reef servo for the steering as well. I installed the custom engraved parts on a sip of champagne and also adding a touch of gold. I also modified the rear trim piece and cut it to make the truck still be operational as it once was before. I went ahead and brushed the dust off this car and said, man, I need to bring this G ride out a little more often. It sits in the box for too long. On the ride Ace of Spades, I had an extra set of those custom painted rims that I installed, and also I'm using the Michael Garza dual servo mount, which I also used the super pump servos for. So now this car has a sound kit, dual servo setup, and running super pumps up front. More or less, this car is bulletproof for my wife. She can do whatever she wants to do with it, and this thing will be able to handle it no problem. From rearranging most of these parts, I ended up with 2 extra Reefs 300 servos. I decided to go ahead and install them in the back of the 57 Chevy Bel Air. And also I installed the Super Scale kit that I had on the 62 Impala. On the ride Old School, I ended up installing the gate pumps in the rear of the car, and the gate pumps work great and fast and smooth with the Super Scale kit. In the project, sold a half an ounce of
pimps and Macs with the beans, making enemies, paper stacks.
See, pocket full of dollars already stacked, so I'm gangsta leaning sideways. Today ain't Friday, pretend it is, and today is my day. Take it from Mr. Huntspoke Rider, Cadillac Suburban driver, pussy diver, Mr. Glock beside when I'm riding. Flossing down the block, hollering my boys up in the third. Got the latest word, swerve to the side of the curb. Fiendin' warning me to serve her. Say, bitch can't tell I'm off, but I still give him $5 to wipe my white walls. Then I burst about the block, dropped the top, cause it was hot. Hit the spot with the most hoes at the side show.
And then we have the ride, Troubled One. I'd installed a custom interior on this car with the Bluetooth audio and the mini TV. Installing that changed the whole entire way how this car hops. It's time to put this car on a chopping block and see what I can do to make this hop again, because I was determined to keep that interior in this car. That also brought into mind the rear end situation, so I wanted to customize it and make it look from this to this. So I will be showing you guys that in the next video, so hang tight.
Lose it all for a bitch, got one shot so I won't miss. When I reminisce, when I ain't have a pot to piss, and a bitch ain't giving me shit. Finna make a list of all of the niggas that tripped, those lights turned out like this. Had to take a risk, yeah I had to hit a couple licks, but I did the game making me sick.